Hey guys, welcome back to Discover SPRINGFORD. I'm standing in front of the Sunshine Cafe located on Ridge Pike in Limerick. Today I'm sitting down with owner Jamie Coulston. I'm Geoff, a professional actor, part-time realtor, and transplant to the Springford area. And I'm on a mission to find the best that Springford has to offer. I'll be interviewing local business owners, civil servants, and other prominent members of the community to find out what makes Springford a great place to live, work, eat, and explore. I invite you to join me on my journey as I discover Springford. Hey everybody, welcome back to Discover Springford. I'm here with Jamie Coulston of the Sunshine Cafe in Limerick, one of the many great breakfast and lunch places here in the Springford area. Jamie, thanks so much for doing this. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I say that because we are very blessed in this area to have some great places to eat. Sunshine Cafe being one of the top ones that when I asked for recommendations, I got so many people that are like, Sunshine Cafe, you have to go there. It's so good. I've been here several times and I can agree, it is amazing. So
thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm excited to hear how you ended up here and tell me a little bit about your personal story, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So why don't we start back at the beginning? You can paint the picture of your childhood as much as you'd like.
All right. So I grew up in Oaks.
Oh yeah, not far.
Yeah, not far. And that's Springford School District.
Yeah, exactly.
So I went to Springford. I graduated from Springford. And my parents, my mom and my stepfather, owned a wholesale food distributing business in Phoenixville. It was called Phoenixville Food Terminal.
Oh, okay.
So they served restaurants, nursing homes, things like that. Yeah. So after school, instead of going to college after I graduated, they begged me, will you please come work with us? So I did. I took a lot of business courses. So I went and I worked for them for years, probably, I don't know. A long time. I can't even remember now. A long time.
I won't ask specific dates. That's
rude.
I'm
Right.
not going to ask what year you graduated from Springford either, because that would be considered rude, I'm sure.
So anyway, I worked for them for years, so I knew the food industry.
Yeah.
And then I got married, had children, was a stay-at-home mom, and my husband and I lived in the Pottstown area.
Okay.
And my neighbor actually owned, my neighbor's daughter owned the Sunshine Cafe.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So she was like, why don't you come and work for us? Like, you're a stay-at-home mom, maybe you could just work weekends, while your husband's at work during the week. Yeah. So I gave it a try. I liked it.
Yeah.
Stayed on, worked a couple extra days here and there, and then it became for sale.
Really?
Yes. So I've owned it now for 18 years.
That's incredible.
Worked here been here 23 years total.
Wow. So you worked here for a full 5 years before you owned it?
I did.
Wow.
I did.
So what was that, what kind of decision making did it go into from, because that's a huge undertaking to take on something like this when you're working here, and then to be the head responsible for every decision and working through all of that kind of stuff. And you did say that you did have background in the food industry, obviously, but I can imagine there may have been some trepidation in the very beginning about leaping into ownership of a restaurant. Was that?
Of course there was, because when I worked for my parents and I would talk to restaurant owners on the phone, I would take their orders and, things like that. I always said, oh my gosh, I will never own a restaurant, because they would tell me all their horror stories of the restaurant industry,
Sure.
And, but then when it happened and when I started working here, I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the small town feel, the community.
Sure.
There were farms all around me then. The farmers would come in, got so close to everyone. We always said it was cheers without the beer. It was just such a close-knit family, and I just fell in love with everyone.
That's amazing.
And it has been a whirlwind in a great way, though. In a great way.
So you said 18 years, so it was around the turn of the millennium when you when you bought it?
Yes.
That's crazy to think about that. When you say 18 years and then to think that that was like 2000, that doesn't sound like that long ago, but then we're in 2018 now.
Already.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
I'm not particularly old, but I think of 1992 as though it was yesterday, because I still remember what I was doing in 1992 as a kid.
Yes.
And I always say, too, that when I was a kid, I imagined adults having it all together, knowing all the answers. Like when I was 10 and I saw, I'm 34, it's actually, when this episode airs, it's going to be my birthday the next day.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and I say that so that people will comment and send me presents, but I thought of like, oh, they are mature and wise and they know what they're doing. And then I realize now as that age, I'm like, I still think the same way I did when I was 12. I just have a lot more responsibility and stress.
A lot more.
Yeah, I have learned from experience, but like, I guess I thought that there was going to be a flip that switched and you're like, I have adult brain now.
No,
yeah,
definitely not. No, definitely not.
So, I mean, this place has been a huge part of your life for a large portion of your life, I imagine. You don't appear to be old enough for it to not have taken up a good portion of your life.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what are some of the highlights that you can kind of look back on these 18/23 years that you've been here? Obviously, you've seen a lot of growth around you.
Oh my gosh, a lot of growth.
Has the traffic patterns changed significantly?
A lot.
Yeah. Ridge Pike is a lot busier than it was, I can imagine.
Ridge Pike is unbelievably busy. Like trying to pull out of here every day is crazy. It's crazy.
My real estate office is up the way here in the building where the dental arts and Java's Brewing is and stuff like that.
Yes.
The brokerage that I've worked for the last couple of years, they have a satellite office there. And anytime I've ever been there, I film interviews there occasionally. And just trying to get out of there, it's like impossible.
Oh, it is.
Always ends up being at a time. So I can't imagine being here every single day, trying to pull out on there.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
It's good that you guys are right on the road, so everybody sees you.
Oh,
right?
no.
So,
it is. It's wonderful. I mean, this is a great location.
Yeah.
You know, we are very lucky to be where we're at. You know what I mean? We're centrally located here on Ridge Pike.
Anybody who's on their way up to Pottstown or on their way down to all points south, I mean, And I notice oftentimes when I come by, you see a lot of the classic cars that you guys have.
Yes, because we now have, we started a car show.
Yeah.
So it's the first Thursday of every month, May through October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that has like taken off like crazy.
That's awesome. My kids, anytime I see car shows anywhere, like my kids are like, we gotta go look at those cars and stuff, and I'm like, I love it, and the fact that there's something about this location and the building and stuff, and when you see a line of classic cars, it just like it makes you feel like you're going back in time a little bit. I think like the hometown feel, the traditional atmosphere of the diner here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely it's aesthetically pleasing, I guess, for lack of a better term. Like you feel at home and comfortable.
You do. Yeah. Up front, I have a picture of what the restaurant looked like in the 60s, and it was a Specs Chicken then.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, it was a Specs Chicken. It was their first location, you know, and then someone else bought it and it became Sunshine Cafe. But even in the picture up front, you know, there's VW bugs in the picture, and it just gives you that whole, you know, old time feel.
Yeah. So how long do you know a little bit about the history of the Sunshine Cafe? In terms of how long has it been called that? How long has it been what it is kind of what today? Do you know any of that information?
How long it's been Sunshine Cafe? Yeah. Actually, I do.
Yeah.
Actually, right up there, it says established 1993 Sunshine Cafe.
Okay.
And the local firefighters who are here like every single day, they had that made for me.
Oh, really?
Yes, that was because I donate a lot to them, do a lot for all their, you know, functions that they have. They had that made for me,
That's really
and
nice.
now I put it in the restaurant.
So, if you worked here for 5 years, you started working here almost after it became the Sunshine Cafe.
Pretty much.
Because that's 25 years. You've been here for 23.
Exactly.
So you've seen it really kind of from its infancy, or you know, from its small stage, and you've seen it to where it is now. That's pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
So, I would imagine people would feel weird if they walked in here and they didn't see your face at this point, because you've been here since it was practically built.
Pretty much.
You know, it's not built, obviously, because it was a Specs chicken, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I am the one that's been here the longest.
Yeah.
That I know of.
Right.
And one of my employees, she's been here 21 years. So we're like the longest.
That's incredible.
Reigning. Yeah.
And in the food service industry, to have that type of retention is incredible. You know,
it is.
Imagine,
it's wonderful. I mean, I do have employees that have been with me for a very long time. So
that's really cool.
It is very cool.
I would imagine that only helps to cultivate that loyal, small town, traditional vibe that you guys have.
It does. Like those, the customers from 20 years ago, still come in here. And they look for Jamie and JoJo and, all those faces that they've been seeing for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've said this before on the show probably, but it's one of my lifelong fantasies was to live in a place that had a counter that I could, pull up to, and I know everybody there, and I get my paper, and I read, like I have visions of myself as an old gray-haired man, just like, shooting the breeze on a Saturday morning, and I'm so blessed that I picked this area because there are so many options. So I don't have to wear out my welcome anywhere. I can be like, Geoff, go find somewhere else. It's getting tiresome. I don't want to make your order and again or whatever. It can bounce around, but
everyone knows everyone that comes in here. This is where all the locals go. They hang out here. They were just saying to me today, Jamie, we need our little nameplates on the back of all the chairs at the counter because. We're here every single day.
Yeah, I think start dedicating booths to people.
We really should. Yeah. We really should. That's how often they're here.
And
it's
then people
wonderful.
come in and like, can I have the Ralph booth, please? Yeah. Like, I want to sit in the back corner there. Established 2018.
That's a great idea.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, I would go more for, I would want a dish named after me before I would want a seat named after me. Because I feel like that, you can make it a little bit more of a personalized experience in that regard.
People have asked me to do that already.
Really? Like if they have a pretty unique order, they're like, you should name it after me.
Yeah, you should name that burger after me. You should name that omelet after me. So maybe someday.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you ever taken anybody
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
It'd take a very special scenario, I think.
Very special scenario. Yeah, like on our menu, we have employee omelets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like they get to design.
They design their own omelet, their favorite omelet, So
that's really
there's
cool.
a Jamie omelet.
Yeah.
There's a JoJo omelet. There's a Queenie omelet. I mean, you name it. A Carly. All my employees that have been here for a while, they all get to, have their turn on the menu.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
I think that's cool because then it kind of like tells you a little bit about the person and their interest, even though it's just a food item, but it's their own unique flavor, as it were.
They'll come up. Oh, I had the Jamie omelet today. I love your omelet. You know what I mean?
Now, did you design the ingredients, or you came up with the ingredients for Jamie omelet? That's cool.
I did.
Yeah. So, can I ask what's in the Jamie omelet?
Yes, it's bacon, tomato, cream cheese in the omelet, topped with avocado.
That sounds like delectable.
It's
I love avocado anything,
but it's wonderful. I just had someone telling me yesterday how amazing the omelet is, and I'm like, it's a different combination, but the cream cheese just goes.
Yeah, well,
it goes
I can
for
imagine
some reason.
It's really smooth going down. Probably,
it is,
especially with the avocado and the cream cheese.
It's just delicious.
Yeah,
the crispy
I'm gonna
bacon.
have to get the next time I come.
Very good.
It's all about mixing the palate. Like you don't want to have too much of one thing.
No,
it has to be the balance. So having the salty, crispy bacon mixed with the smooth avocado and cream cheese.
It's wonderful.
And then the bright citrusy tomato. Sounds really good. You might want to come down to the Sunshine Cafe. Yeah, so tell me, do you have, outside of the car show, are there any other things that you're actively involved in the community? You also mentioned the fire company.
I mean, I help them tremendously.
Yeah.
I mean, I do so much for them. I mean, they have golf outings, they had oh my gosh, I forget what kind of show they had last year.
I'm trying to think, there was a golf outing, I think, that I saw a sign for.
Yes.
Was there an auction feature or something? Or maybe that was the car show I'm thinking of. I don't know. I saw a sign, but I was like, man, that's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, I mean, I give a lot to, I have a lot of high school students that work for me.
Okay.
So I give a lot to any of their functions. Like I'm going to donate to one of the band members, coming up. One girl, she's a great singer, and I helped her with all her things that, she had to go to. And they had a comedy show at the firehouse. I guess it was last I don't even remember when it was, but I help with that.
Yeah.
And I mean, any local thing I usually help with. Anything local I help with. They come in, I definitely help.
That's really great.
Yes.
And being a Springford graduate,
Yes.
working in Springford,
Yes.
you've what has been your, because I know some people have mixed feelings about the fact that it's becoming more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Build up.
Yeah, more built up and more heavy traffic, and more families are moving out here, more franchises and things like that. So, as someone who has kind of seen it from the beginning, do you have any thoughts on its impact for your business and things like that?
I mean, it's been wonderful
Yeah.
for the business, obviously.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful. I mean, I do miss the farms and all that. Of course I do. But for the businesses in this community, it has been a wonderful thing.
Oh, for sure, because
It's been a wonderful thing.
since in talking to we did a 3-part episode with the Historical Society of Springford.
Yes.
I now know there's a Limerick specific historical society, so I'm gonna have to interview them too.
Yes.
But it's the Spring City Royersford Historical Society, and the amount of industry that was in these boroughs that left, with the as things continue to become more technologically advanced, and a lot of the traffic and things really died down for a very long period of time, and people really suffered through that. So to see that people are now coming back out, they're trying to get away from the congestion of the city. I know people think this is congested, but believe me, it's not.
No, it's
I grew
not.
up in the Northeast Philly. It's not congested at all. When my wife and I always say this, but when we moved out here, and people that live here may not see it this way because they've always lived here, but for me, it was night and day in terms of the interaction with people. Because I grew up in the city, and you didn't make eye contact with people. If you did, there was a weird tension there.
Yeah.
Here, when we came to look at houses and things like that, people talked to us in the Wawa, and people allowed us to have the first right of way and the stop sign and things like that.
It's true.
I was I feel like I'm back in Mayberry, and that's hilarious. To now live here and see how modern and current everything is, and there's all these shops and everything. So I know it was naivete on my part, but coming from where I had grown up and things like that, it really did feel like I had been transported into another part of the country, because there was definitely more of a small town community atmosphere.
Oh, it definitely is.
And you're just what you're describing in terms of your loyal customers and things like that. It only further solidifies that perception, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. My one daughter lives in Fishtown.
Okay.
And I went to visit, and I'm just oh my gosh.
It's another world.
It is a different world down here.
Yeah.
Totally different world. So we're actually blessed.
Yeah, for sure.
We are. I mean, we don't have to worry about parking like they do down there. And
exactly right.
Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
permit parking only.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
Yeah, you have an ample parking, but oftentimes I drive past and it's full. So
it's packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had people in the grass this weekend.
Did you
so
really?
I did, yeah. But
yeah, that's awesome. And I'm the kind of person where I always look for the counter space, because I just love to be in the middle of everything.
Yes.
Some people don't like that I know. They're like, why would you want to sit at the counter?
No, our
I'm
counter.
No, that's where you want to be.
Our counter's very popular.
Yeah, I love it, and I love that you can just be right among all the staff.
Yeah, there's
see how they're working.
Yeah, there's 16 stools. They're usually always filled.
That's a lot too.
They're a lot, and the cooks cook right in front of you, which is great.
Yeah.
People love watching that too.
I love it.
Yeah, that's.
I'm an amateur cook. I love cooking food and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not skilled in any way, but people have told me that I cook good food, and I don't use a recipe. It's probably my mom won't like this, but it's probably my Italian upbringing. She's not the Italian one, my dad is, but all of my uncles and stuff are chefs. They all know how to cook, and my mom was a good cook too. So sorry, Mom. I'm not slighting your side of the family or anything. I like to create and concoct things and stuff. I don't need a recipe, so. I always also had a secret social fantasy of being a line cook and
Really?
Yeah, it's just so weird. Most people would probably
That's
be
a tough
never.
job.
I know. It's they would never want to do that, but I don't know. I like that kind of repetitive pattern, and once you get into a rhythm, it's just and you're just doing stuff.
And that's how my cooks are. They're in that rhythm. They're in that zone, and they're just Yeah, and
it's crazy. The turnaround time for breakfast food is faster than any kind of food.
Than any.
Yeah, I come in here. And it's packed. and I order. I'm like, oh, I'm probably gonna have to wait a long time for my food, and then I'm like, it's
whoa,
in front
it's here
of me.
already.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yes.
And eggs and things like that, like to cook them well, like it's not easy because I mess up eggs at home and it's me in one pan and I'm standing there. You know what I mean? Like, so to be in that kind of just, I don't know, trance like state or whatever.
And they are.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They do a fabulous job. They're so good at what they do.
That's great. Do you have a specific? Obviously, you have the omelet named after yourself, but do you have a specific item on the menu that is your go-to when you choose to eat when you're working here?
Oh my goodness. Well, for breakfast, I mean, we make our own cream-dried beef.
I love it.
Yeah.
Cream-dried beef is like,
yes,
that is my go-to breakfast
That's
item.
my go-to. Like if I'm going to eat heavy, hearty, you know what I mean? That's what I'm going to eat.
It seals the cracks. That's why I always say.
My
When
gosh.
you eat, like if you have like,
and it
you're not
warms
be
you in the
hungry.
winter. Like,
that's right.
it's
If
so
you're
good.
You're not going to be hungry for a very long time after you have a good order of cream chip.
No, no. So, you know,
you
we're
guys
pretty famous
make it
for that.
here.
We do. We
That's
do.
great.
Yeah, from scratch.
And what do you top it on, or anything, or
whatever they want?
Yeah.
I mean, it normally comes on toast with home fries, but I mean, people get it on biscuits instead.
I like it on biscuits. That's
so
usually
do
mine.
I. So do I.
I love a good breakfast biscuit. Like
yes, and our biscuits and gravy is a huge seller.
Yeah.
We make that too.
Is it sausage gravy that you do?
Yeah,
That's great too.
So good, so good.
Hungry.
Yeah, right.
Fire up the grill. I'm just kidding. Or the whatever you call it. The
grill. It's flat top.
A flat top grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about food on a flat top. So
it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
So good.
You can see that I'm hungry. I didn't eat lunch yet.
But
so
for lunch,
I start to focus on it. Yeah, what's your lunch item?
But for my lunch go-to, it's usually anything turkey, because we bake our own turkey breast here.
Oh, really?
So you can't go wrong with a turkey club.
So it's like actually like cut off the turkey breast.
It's a turkey breast, yes. And we bake them, and they're cut, to order. So we do hot turkey sandwiches, turkey clubs.
This time of year, a hot turkey sandwich is just unreal.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
We do a turkey Reuben, which is phenomenal. That's a really big seller.
Yeah.
So
that sounds great.
Yeah.
You're speaking to my soul here.
Yeah.
Like luncheonette, like diner, like
yes.
It's just my go-to. I mean, I like Mexican food. I like
I do
Italian
too.
food, obviously, but there's just something
too.
about like being able to go and get anything cooked, ready to order, like made fresh, and it is comfort food in every sense of the word. Even though it's not technically like what we call comfort food in terms of like whether it's Southern comfort food or that. It's just it's all encompassing.
It is.
Breakfast food, dinner, lunch, whatever.
Yeah.
And you guys just recently opened for dinner, correct?
Actually, no. It's been a long time.
Oh, has it really?
Yeah, everybody says that. But Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we're open till 8 o'clock.
Okay.
We've been open now for dinner. Oh, my goodness. 10 plus years.
Really?
Yes.
How is that possible?
I don't know. I don't know.
Was it always Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or was
yes,
it?
I think people just don't think of us as a dinner place, so they don't always know.
Yeah, and what kind of items do you guys have? I mean, anything diner kind of?
Yes.
Traditional burgers, all that kind of stuff? Yeah.
Yes, and we have specials every week, so homemade meatloaf, homemade turkey croquettes. I mean, just all that comfort food. Hot beef sandwiches. We roast our own beef here also.
Goodness.
So,
where do you do all this? It doesn't look like you have the space to do all this stuff.
Oh, we do. Yeah. We do. We make homemade chicken pot pies. We're like becoming famous for all these items.
I'll be back in for dinner.
And homemade desserts. Yet,
Oh, yeah. I love a good pie.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, my gosh. I need to make sure that I eat before I sit down and interview someone who owns a food establishment. Because we start talking about food and I'm like... I want to whatever. That's embarrassing. Sorry. If I'm salivating on camera, I don't mean to be. No, but how about, if you don't mind, I'll ask, is there anything that you learned, working with your parents, working in the various jobs that you had before you worked here, that kind of sticks with you to this day in terms of how you operate your own business? I know that's kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, but just any type of, I don't know, motto or life lesson that you kind of always try to keep, like if you're ever going through a dry time in the business or things, and you kind of center yourself on, I guess this is why I'm doing it, kind of a thing, like reminding yourself why you're doing what you're doing? Is there anything like that comes to mind?
I mean, I don't know, customer service though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like number one for me.
Yeah.
Being kind, and treating people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
That's like so important to me.
It goes miles.
It goes miles.
Yeah.
It goes miles. And, giving back,
Yeah.
Giving back to the community. That's
Yeah.
like huge for me.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Girl
sounds like it,
Scouts
yeah.
sell their cookies here. The Boy Scouts sell their popcorn here. Just anything like that. They're the things that I love.
Yeah.
I do. I really do love those things. And, and the customers I feel like I have the best customers ever. I do. I just hit 6,000 likes on Facebook on Sunday.
Oh, are you serious? Oh my
Serious.
gosh.
And I just said, my customers are the best.
Yeah.
Thank you for all my likes.
word of
I mean,
mouth,
they're
yeah.
just wonderful.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
they're wonderful. And I think, like you said, when you do have a slow time, the customers that are here every day, and not only them, but all the customers, they're the ones that, I don't know, they're just the best.
Do you actually have customers that are here every day?
Every day.
Really?
Every single
That's
day.
amazing.
Every single day.
Is it lunch, breakfast? Which do you seem to see the recurring people like they come in here every morning for breakfast, or they come in here every day for lunch? Or is it everything?
Everything.
Really?
Every single thing.
I could see
Because we serve breakfast all day.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes, we had our one couple in here today at 12:30, 1 o'clock eating their breakfast.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
they'll do that, and then when we're open for dinner, they'll be here too.
Right.
So.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, thank you so much for doing this and getting to hear a little bit more about the business. I'm definitely going to come back for dinner. I've eaten lunch here and I've eaten breakfast here, but I've never been here for dinner. So I'm definitely going to come back, especially check out the specials. So
Yeah,
is that
absolutely.
information available on the Facebook page and stuff when you do have weekly specials and things like that?
Oh, yeah,
People can look ahead
Yes.
and see if something that's their favorite or whatever.
Oh yeah, I post the dinner specials weekly, the weekend specials, specials during the week, upcoming events like the car show and things like that.
That's really exciting.
Which that won't happen again until
May.
April.
Yeah, or April, May, yeah.
But yeah, I try to keep everybody updated as to what's going on.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Did you have a lot of trouble with the weather this time around with the car shows, or did you luck out with was it First Thursdays you said?
Yes,
Yeah.
I got really lucky except for the one in October. That
Oh,
had
okay.
to be the third Thursday in October.
Oh, okay.
'Cause, I mean-
oh, it's the third Thursday?
No, it's the first.
Oh, you
but
just keep pushing it back to
We
the
do.
Yeah, okay.
We do. So
So it will happen.
everybody knows
Yeah.
the rain date is the following week.
Oh, okay. That's good.
But I keep them,
Yeah.
up to date on Facebook and
That's great.
yeah.
Yeah, so thank you for sharing this with us. Really appreciate it. All right, is there anything else that you can think of that you would like to let people know as they watch the episode, listen to the podcast about the Sunshine Cafe that people may not, outside of the fact that you are open for dinner Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, that things that you'd like to kind of get out there to people that may be watching this about the Sunshine Cafe? Specific things to your heart, or, just informational. It can be that. Is there anything like that you can think of?
Not really.
We covered it all,
I think we
yeah.
did.
Okay.
I mean, just that, we're, a small little business and, we welcome everyone and I'm thankful for everyone that comes in and that's really it.
That's great.
Mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fine. One thing we kind of mentioned before we started, and I'm just remembering it now,
Oh, okay.
is the fact that we talked about how a lot of the businesses support each other, even if they're kind of in a similar
Yes,
industry. You were
absolutely.
saying like Anna Marie's and how
Yes.
you guys know each other and
Sure.
go to each other's establishments and all that kind of stuff. So
Sure.
there's not like that. Like there's enough business for everybody to succeed.
Oh my
essentially.
gosh,
So that's,
absolutely.
That's really encouraging too, because as I had mentioned before, when I asked about breakfast places and things like that, I said like, which is your favorite? And it was just like everybody had a different answer. And then the initial people, and then they were all like just repeat Sunshine Cafe, Anna Marie's, Sunshine Cafe, and it's just back and forth. And there's just so many people that talk highly of the Sunshine Cafe. So
Aw,
you should be,
thanks.
like you said,
I'm
should be
very proud.
Yeah, very proud. And
I
the fact
am.
that you have 6,000 likes in a small little area, that means
Yeah.
that people not only know about it, but they travel from far to come to Limerick for the Sunshine Cafe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think I had a couple people say something about they're like, I don't live there anymore, but anytime I'm in the area, I go back to Sunshine Cafe.
Oh yeah, we have those people.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Absolutely.
Have you had people come from far that have found out about it from the Facebook page?
Well, yeah, like I have people come from Norristown on the weekend. I have people come from Chester Springs this weekend. They said they were from, and I mean, they come from all over. I mean, I know it's not very far, but Pottstown, Boyertown, Gilbertsville, Schwenksville, Collegeville, and further than that also, but they're the people that are here, mainly.
Yeah, and it's like I said, people drive past, they see it. It's exactly what you want to see when you're looking for a good breakfast or lunch.
Yeah,
and it looks exactly like what you envisioned.
Yeah, so it's that small hometown feel that everybody loves.
Yeah. Well, I love it, and I will be back. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And we wish you nothing but continued success.
Thank you so much.
For those of you that may have lived in the Springford area all this time and driven past the Sunshine Cafe and said, I'm going to get in there one of these days, what are you waiting for?
Right?
There's nothing else keeping you from coming on in to say hi to Jamie and JoJo and Queenie and all the people. You got to try each omelet, and you can be the judge of which is your favorite and which most closely aligns with the staff here at the Sunshine Cafe. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of Discover Springford. Now, many of you Sunshine Cafe loyalists may wonder why this shot looks a little different. Well, it's because it's so sunny and beautiful that the sun is reflecting off the Sunshine Cafe sign, so I had to take the shot from this angle. The restaurant is actually to my right here. So it gives you a little behind the scenes of the show. Anyway, if you'd like to find out more about the Sunshine Cafe, you can do that by visiting any of the links below the video. Also, if you'd like to support Discover Springford going forward, you can share this video with your friends and family on social media, or you can also check out our website. You can become a one-time contributor through PayPal, you can become a monthly supporter through Patreon for as little as $1 a month, or you can buy one of our shirts or car magnets in our store. Thanks a lot for watching this episode. I encourage you to come back next week, and until then, get out there on your own journey to discover what makes the Springford area a great place to live, work, eat, and explore.